Hello everyone, my name is Matt Stokes and welcome back to another video. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of a disclaimer before I start talking about the topic of this video. When I first found out about what I'm going to be talking about, it blew my mind and I haven't looked at the world the same since. This has drastically affected me and I'm going to give you a warning now that there is a potential chance that after you finish watching this video, life will be different for you. You will not see things the same way. That's the warning. Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to be talking about something that I found on the internet a couple months ago known as the Mandela Effect. I'm going to read out the definition for the Mandela Effect. The Mandela Effect is what happens when someone has a clear memory of something that never happened in this reality. So before I get into the actual video, I'm going to ask you something. How many of you have seen the film Forrest Gump? The amazing story of a man who starts off with a disability, fixes it himself, and lives his life. Now, we all remember the very start of the film. He sat on a bench with a box of chocolates and he sees a woman next to him and he starts talking. He says a very famous line which a lot of you know. You may not know what it's from, but a lot of you will know this line. It has stayed with me throughout all my life ever since I first watched it when I was with my mom when I was younger. Tell me if you recognise this line. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Really famous, isn't it? Everyone knows that line. But unfortunately, that's not true. Forrest Gump never actually said that. Now, before you click off this video and say, no, he's wrong, let's stop listening to him, let me just put this out. Forrest Gump actually said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates.
Okay, next. One of my favourite films of all time is the film Jaws. There is a very famous scene and a very famous line from that film. It happens when the main character, Brody, sees the great white shark surface to the top of the water, and as he sees it, he steps back into the cabin behind him and says to the other person on the boat with him. Do any of you know what this line is yet? Very, very famous. On t-shirts, posters, everywhere. We're gonna need a bigger boat. I hate to tell you, he didn't say that. He said, you're going to need a bigger boat.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Weird, isn't it? Now another one. I personally never watched this TV show. But I remember there was that TV show, I remember when it came out, called Sex in the City. You know, it was about those 4 girls. I'm pretty sure they had a film about it and the TV show and everything. I always used to think as a kid, you know, like, why can they put the word sex on TV? It's inappropriate, you know, it's a naughty word. And I always thought about that. And then the other day, when I was researching some Mandela effects, turns out I've been wrong all this time. Since when was it Sex and the City? Personally, I always remembered Sex in the City. Was it people just mispronouncing it? Or was it the Mandela Effect? Okay, so here's another one. Now this one's relating to music. So I remember when I was younger, I was at like a mouse racing night in my local town, and I remember I was invited to sing on stage with a bunch of my friends, and they decided to sing We Are the Champions. Now I'll always remember this because I just remember not going up there and I felt so bad because I didn't go and join them on the stage because I was too scared. And I'll always remember the song, you know, We Are the Champions. We are the champions, my friend. My friend. You know the song, yeah? By Queen? And you know that famous bit at the end? Goes a bit like this. No time for losers, 'cause we are the champions of the world. No. I don't know what happened to me that night because I do not remember them ever not including the line of the world. That's never been in there. How many of you thought right at the end you hear that of the world? I did as well, so don't worry. Mandela Effect. Okay, how about the Monopoly Man? It says here he's called Rich Uncle Pennybags. You remember, you know, there's that famous photo of him. I'm looking at it right now of him running. He's got a money bag in his arm. He's holding his hand on his hat. He's got his monocle here, you know, that photo. What if I was to tell you, all this time, he has never had a monocle? You know, he's never had one of these. How strange is that? I asked Freya about it the other day and she said, yes, he does. And I said, I'm afraid he doesn't. She said, no way. No way. Another famous one. So you remember that trend that came about last year? Pokemon Go. It has the famous characters, you know, Charizard, Pikachu. Those are the only 2 I know, to be perfectly honest with you. But I always remembered Pikachu, you know, that little yellow thing had the black stripe on his tail and like moved around like lightning. Well, I don't know who I was thinking of, because apparently Pikachu never had a black stripe on his tail. Okay, so I'm going to say a few more. You know, Curious George. I never watched this, but I used to see my niece and nephew watching it on TV. You know, that monkey, you know, just messing around and stuff. Curious George. Since when did he not have a tail? I've seen this photo here. It looks like he has a tail, right? It's gone! Doesn't make any sense to me. Now, this one hit me recently. And when I heard it, this is the one that changed my life forever. So, one of the best films of all time is Star Wars. Now, the original Star Wars consists of A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. Now, one of the biggest plot twist moments in cinematic history has to be when Darth Vader reveals that he is actually Luke Skywalker's father. You know that famous scene where they're stood in Cloud City, Luke's hanging onto that pole, and Darth Vader says to him, "Luke, I am your father."
I am your father.
You know that scene? I'm pretty sure I've got a t-shirt of it somewhere. I had a poster of it. I'm sure I had an action figure that said it. It was amazing. For the people who watched it, you know, like when it came out, they must have been blown away, because no one would have seen that coming. You know, I also didn't see coming that he doesn't actually say that. He never said, "Luke, I'm your father." He actually said, "No, I am your father." Now, there is actually something strange about this, because apparently James Earl Jones, the voice of Darth Vader, the man who said that line, said he remembers saying, "Luke, I am your father," because in an interview he said how amazing the plot twist actually was.
When I first saw the dialogue that said, "Luke, I am your father," I said to myself, he's lying. I wonder how they're going to play that lie out.
Strange, isn't it? People's memories stay active, yet history literally seems to change around us. You know C-3PO from Star Wars? The gold figure. Most people find him annoying, but also hilarious. For example, he's Freya's favourite character from Star Wars, but most people think, you know, he's that amazing, he's just that iconic character with R2-D2, you know, made out of gold. But he's not actually gold. He's got a silver leg. There is a post online that says, "Fuck off to C-3PO have a silver leg." I've watched it 25 times, you have never noticed it. Now, this is the last one I'm actually going to talk about. Snow White. There's that witch in it. I never actually have seen the film, but there's the witch in the film that says this line. Now, this line is one of the most iconic lines in cinema history. You know, there's toys about it, and there's everything. There's so much merchandise out there that says this line. Everyone will know this line in their life. It doesn't matter whether you've seen the film or not. "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?" Famous line, right? Well, I hate to say it, never said that. She actually says, "Magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?" Now, if I've blown your mind, then thank you for not thinking I'm crazy, but I honestly thought I was crazy when I first read this theory, but it turns out there are actually hundreds of thousands of people out there who share the same memory of something happening. But it turns out that history says, no, you're wrong. I never actually explained to you guys where the name came from. The Mandela Effect comes from the man Nelson Mandela, one of the most famous men in history. Now, a lot of people remember him dying in the 1980s in prison, yet when his death came around in 2013, people thought, what? What do you mean he just died? He died years and years and years ago. People think he died in prison, but no, he actually died in 2013. Now, there's like a brief science behind this. I haven't fully explored it, but it goes something along the lines of that. We are constantly moving between parallel universes where something is different, where something or other is different, and we remember what's happened. It overwrites our personal timeline, but we remember. We remember. Okay, Mom, so I need to ask you a question, right? Okay. Right, you remember the film Forrest Gump?
Yeah.
What is it, that famous line that he says at the start to the woman on the bench?
Life is like a box of chocolates.
Hear that? Life is like a box of chocolates. What if I told you he never said that?
It's fine.
He actually said life was like a box of chocolates. Okay, one more. What about from Snow White? You know, like, you remember when they have that mirror on the wall?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is it the witch says to it? It's probably what you're thinking.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the greatest of them all?
She actually says magic mirror on the wall.
Oh.
Weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
You think you have a memory of something, but it's not actually true.
No, it's right.
It's called the Mandela Effect.
Oh, is it?
Very interesting
It's
theory.
good, isn't it?
Thank you for that, Mom. That's what I needed to ask. It'll make sense when you watch the video. Okay, so guys, I'm going to leave this video here, but if you've enjoyed, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please leave a like and a comment down below. And if you think of any more Mandela effects, then let me know. before I actually end off the video, I'm going to let you know in my own little Mandela effect. So if you're watching this and you're a constant viewer, you know my good friend Mind of Sly. Now, Mind of Sly put out a tweet a while ago saying something about, my dad says if I hit 100k by the end of the year, he will buy me a car. Now, it's some supercar. I know nothing about them, but it's some real posh car. So I said to Ram last night, just like, don't worry homie, we're going to get you to 100k and we're going to get you this car. And he was just like, thanks, my dad will love it. And I was like, wait, what? And he said, if I hit 100k, I said I'll buy him a car. So I said to him, no you didn't. You said he would buy you a car. And he said, no. There is no way in hell that I misread that tweet. I'm sorry Ram, but you are wrong. The Mandela Effect. The Mandela Effect, I'm telling you. So guys, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like down below. It means a lot. And leave a comment down below if there's any that have affected you or the ones that impacted you a lot. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, by the way. It's Matt Stokes YT. I'm really active on there. I'm constantly talking to you guys and I love messaging you guys and stuff like that. And add me on Snapchat as well, Matt Stokes YT. I always reply to you guys and my snaps are open constantly. So guys, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.